Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hudson Public Utilities meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 9th. We are going to start with a roll call. Kip,
Hassan,
here.
Rice,
Here.
Hall,
Here.
Forum,
Here.
Nolan,
Here.
Snyder,
Here.
and Preisel is absent.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep,
We're
we
going to
have a-
start out. Got a quorum. We're good to go. Start out first one. We did roll call approval of meeting minutes.
Move to approve?
I have a
Second.
second.
Second. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. All right. New business action on facility plan for future wastewater treatment plan and collection system improvements. Skip.
Okay, so if you remember last month, I believe it was last month or the month prior, we kind of had a discussion on getting a facility plan or an action plan started now, which is going to pretty much dictate, the foreseeable future for sure. Probably the next 40 years or so on how we want Hudson to look and how, kind of what we're looking at in terms of the wastewater facility, the capacity that we have. What are we going to have to do in the future? We'd also like to look at, our contribution and our role that we also played at the West Central biosolids facility. So we do want, we kind of had discussed that and had approved. Sorry, I'm just making notes here that David's in. Just kind of making notes that, or that David was just coming in. So, we wanted to look at the whole entire facility, see what's all going to happen. What are we looking at in the next 40 years? What do we have to do? Are we looking at a satellite plant? What can we use the existing plant for? How is the satellite plant going to look? Where is it going to be located? Where is land available? Is there land that we need to get out and start possibly purchasing now for the future? So with the growth of Hudson, we wanted to take a look at this. So on the call tonight is Jeremiah from SEH. He'll be kind of facilitating this whole plan that we're looking to do. Probably anticipating this is going to take us about a year to walk this through and look at all the different scenarios that we want looked at. But like I said, this is something that Hudson will be using into the future to kind of lay out just how they want everything to look and where are we going to go with wastewater? How are we going to treat it? How are we going to get rid of it too? So I guess with that, everybody hopefully had a chance to kind of go through the proposal that SEH had submitted. It's pretty extensive, the scope that we had, that when I sat down with Jeremiah, kind of the scope that I was looking for. So hopefully everybody had a chance to kind of look it over. The price tag that comes with this, it's $110,000, $110,600 price tag to do this. But I do feel, I guess spending $100,000, plus dollars now is going to give us the direction that we want to go in the future. Don't forget, we are looking, part of this whole facility plan or this whole plan that we're doing, not facility plan, I guess I'd call it more of a city plan. We also are, part of that was looking at the biosolids. And, we are right now, currently the biosolids is in about a, $5-6 million renovation that they've got going down there that we, as a member of the biosolids, had approved. In the future, they are looking at, a $30 million project by the time they're done. And I guess it's Hudson's diligence, or I want to do our due diligence to look and see, do we want to be part of that project? You start talking that kind of money, investing in a community that isn't even in our community, or that isn't in our community. We definitely have a benefit from that plant. Don't get me wrong, but it's in our best interest, I think, at this time, before we invest that kind of money in a facility down there. We should be looking, in-house to see if there's something that we can do in-house. So Jeremiah is on the call. I don't know if anybody has any questions on this. Lays it out pretty nice, just on what we're gonna expect from SEH. And like I said, it should be the end of October is when we finally get, get this plan back. And then we can kind of walk through it and kind of see what it all entails. What's this going to look like? What does Hudson's future look like for wastewater? So, unless Jeremiah, you have anything to add, I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. Open for questions, comments. Go from there.
Kip and Jeremiah, I have a question regarding the biosolids facility that we're working with right now. What is the, just refresh my memory again on this one. Is there a deadline that we need to make decisions by with that, or?
No, so currently they are doing, that 0.5. Some of you that were at some of the meetings, if you remember, they were talking about the 0.5 upgrade. And then they're also talking about the 1.0 upgrade. So currently they're on the 0.5 upgrade, which is happening as we speak. They're down there. And we agreed with that one. The facility needed upgrades. It needed some stuff that had to be done. So Hudson did vote to, accept that and move forward with that 0.5 project. Now, with the 1.0 project, right now, it's on the back burner. The biosolids and all the members are very well aware that Hudson is looking at, alternate facilities, possibly partnering with another, community somewhere in the area. They know that we're looking at options. So that is being put on the back burner down at the wastewater or down at the biosolids facility. But we do need to address it at some point. So that's why, even with this taking, till the end of 2024 to get to be completed, we still have time they won't even be done with that project till the end of this year. So we do have time to kind of look at our options before we have to make a decision down there.
Get board, Jeremiah, to Scott. Question on, and maybe Jeremiah, either conferences or other engineering firms or other work you've done in the area or the state where there are other biosolids regional facilities like this. Are you aware of of any that are in progress or are up and functioning? And what has been kind of the local municipalities' involvement in those, that everybody chips in and they're all involved? Or are there any others that you're aware of or that your firm has actually been participated in?
No, I think that, the West Central facility is certainly unique in that, it's its own facility that has all of these member communities. Certainly there's other facilities that maybe accept outside waste from, different municipalities, but still as a municipal facility. So I'd say this is definitely a unique situation in West Central Wisconsin here that we have this facility.
Yeah, there isn't. I can just kind of throw in there too, Scott. I don't know if you're actually familiar with how much or what the biosolids is down in Ellsworth. Hudson is an owner of that facility. We were one of the original members of that facility.
Yep.
So yeah, we are an owner of that facility down there. A lot of what we're looking at now is, costs are going up. The biosolids facility costs are going up, which is understandable. The more we send them, the more our communities grow, the more, it's going to cost to get rid of this.
Sure.
One of the other options, or one of the other things that has really come to light in the last couple of years is transportation costs. Transportation costs are really hitting hard right now. For one, it's hard to find anybody to transport this material. And two, it's just road restrictions come into play. I mean, all that kind of stuff comes into play when they're hauling this. And we haul, we probably average 5 to 6 loads a week, semi-loads a week that Hudson hauls out and hauls all the way down to Ellsworth. So when all them costs kind of come into play, everything's going up. And then when they do start talking about a facility upgrade, to the tune of $25 to $30 million, we kind of paused on that and just wanted to step back and see what else is out there. for us.
I
So
think
is that 25 to 30 million just for us or the whole?
No, that's split through the communities, but Hudson is about 23% of their total. So we, between us, New Richmond and River Falls, you're looking at almost 80% right there. 70 for sure. And with River Falls leaving at the end of 2025, they're actually getting out and building their own biosolids facility. So that 25 to $30 million project would pretty much impact Hudson, New Richmond way more than if River Falls was still involved with that. So our costs will go up substantially as soon as River Falls leaves.
Sure.
Kip, I've been to enough of those meetings and seen what the future needs are. I feel confident this is a modest investment given the potential total bill that may be coming down the road. If nothing else, we'll go forward with the biosolids facility improvements with more confidence. So now is a good time to take pause and get our head around what our options are. I move to approve this proposal here to spend $110,600 to engage SEH in this analysis.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any other questions?
I just have a quick question
Yes,
before
Dave.
we. When's the last time, and I missed it, when's the last time we did something like this, Kip? And then how often should it be done?
Well, we did, when I first got here, I don't know if you remember, David, so about 8 years ago, we did the wastewater treatment plant study, basically a report card of what the wastewater treatment plant, and that's what prompted us to do the upgrade that we just finished or that we just completed. We've also done system analysis, throughout the years, just kind of trying to figure out where we have bottlenecks and things like that. As far as I know, Hudson's never, maybe, you're way back. I'm sure they had to have done some type of look at this, but there's nothing that I can find anything, or at least since I've been here, that we've done, pretty much a plan like a city plan like this, where we want to look at everything. We do need to look at, population projections, different things like that. And Carrie brings up a great point. Not only are we looking at in this study that we want to do, not only are we asking SEH and Jeremiah to look at, what's best for us in Hudson, we're also looking at the biosolids facility. It could be that once they get this report done, it's our best option to go stick with biosolids, do whatever upgrades and different things that they need and just continue to pay transportation costs. We don't know that. We don't know the answer to that question yet. So, but it is a good point. So we're not only looking, at what can we do in Hudson? Should we build a new facility? Should we build our own biosolids? Should we, partner with a neighboring community? But we are also looking at, maybe biosolids is our best option. And without that answer, we kind of need that answer for the future. But yeah, as far as I know, David, there's nothing this in depth that's been done.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thanks, David. That was the question I was going to ask as well. So I appreciate that. And I think that, we need to be prepared to answer any public questions, given the fact that we just completed this massive project on our wastewater facility, and people very well might be saying, wow, you just finished. I thought that was, good for a lot of years, which obviously the whole point here is looking 20 years down the road. And also knowing that the ability to predict 20 years down the road is, that's a tough thing to do, which we've certainly seen with the school district over the years and many others. So I think, just being prepared for the public possibly questioning us on spending over $100,000 on a study that, totally legitimate thing to be looking at regarding the biosolids facility. So making sure that we're ready to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And again, just to Carrie's point again, I agree with you, Susie. I'd rather spend 110,000 than 30 million. and
Yeah,
just go with
and I
biosolids.
understand that, yeah, which
Totally.
we end up deciding we will be doing as well. with
Yeah,
River
right.
Falls and Richmond may be
Right,
the solution. We don't know that, but
right. Yeah, good first step though. Did
Mhm.
anybody else have questions? Pat, did you have anything?
Well, can we ban garbage disposals? Or at least convince people not to
no, we
use them?
can't.
Or can we
How
convince
about
people
we
not to
teach
use
people how
them?
to, yes, let's talk to people how to use them correctly.
You don't put garbage in the garbage.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Any other questions, anybody? All right, so let's just do this again, just so it's clean. Motion to approve the 110,000 to move forward with the study.
I think Carrie did it right. And
Yep.
then I don't know who's second.
I think I did.
Joyce
Who
did.
did? Joyce did? Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
you, Jeremiah. Appreciate it.
Thanks much.
Thanks,
We'll be in
Jeremiah.
touch.
Okay, yep, 4.
Great. Project status report.
Again, not much has really changed, from month to month. We're kind of in that lull month right now. Contracts have gone out on the North Street project and the Lake Malibu project. They went out right before the holidays, so we anticipate probably in the next couple days or next couple weeks we should get those contracts back. Once we get the contracts back on those 2 projects, we will be having pre-con meetings. There will be public notification. We've already sent letters out to everybody that will be affected in the area, and kind of just getting a little feedback from them, if they've got any type of needs. Their driveway has to be open because they have a doctor's appointment every single Tuesday, something along that line. They've been contacting us and letting us know that. So really, in terms of just kind of updates, that's about where we are. We're just kind of waiting on contract signage and things like that right now. So
Great. Any questions on any of the project status stuff? Good. All right, 5, other business for informational purposes only or for an upcoming agenda.
I did not have any.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm curious, Kip, at some point, if we can understand, if you could be willing to share the logic that River Falls is using to withdraw from the biosolids facility. And maybe it's something you don't know, but if we could have that on a future agenda, I'd appreciate it.
Basically, from what I understand, it comes down to money. They can do it cheaper.
Yep.
They've
That's,
got a big space by
They got
That's what
land
they've-
for it too. Yeah.
that's what they've claimed. They can do it cheaper on their own. So, there,
They brought
end of
that up in
discussion.
Done.
They brought
Well, that's what we've been told. That
they
it's
brought that they
been-
brought that up in the very first meeting.
Yeah, it's cheaper for them to do it on their own. So, and that's
They have-
ultimately what we're doing. I mean, we're doing nothing than what River Falls did. They obviously went out. They had engineers, do exactly what we just approved. They had the financial, because at some point Trilogy will be involved in all this too. Our financial consultants and stuff like that to give us advice on, how this all would work. So we're not doing anything that River Falls didn't do. Now, when they got their report back, their report told them, build your own, save money in the long run. So I guess that's all we're doing. Same thing.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? All right.
Yep, I had one follow-up question from a project we talked about last month, and that's the Lake Malibu water main.
Okay.
We had talked about it's not going to be in conduit, correct?
No, it's HDE pipe that they put under.
Yeah, so they're going to directional bore that. I think
Yes.
it's Pember.
Remember,
So they've either got a subcontractor that's going to do that directional bore, or they've
once contracts are signed and we have our pre-con, then we'll find out who their subs are. But I know Pember doesn't directional drill themselves. So
Yeah.
they'll sub that out.
So a couple questions to maybe ask or make sure it's in their documentation is, because I know those coils, if they're gonna do 200-foot coils, or they're gonna do 40-foot sticks, or whatever they're gonna fuse to make that continuous pipe, it might be a logistical nightmare, but I've seen enough large gas projects where you can get one continuous pipe at least, so there are no fused butt fused joints across that pipe.
Right.
The fewer the better. Whether they can get a coil for that entire distance without any seams in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the
joints,
distances are on them. We can ask
Yeah.
the question.
that I would ask that question to see if they've got the logistical ability to bring in 1,000-foot coil or whatever it ends up being. It's probably not 1,000 feet. It could be close to that. I can't
Yeah, I
imagine
can't remember off the top of my head.
it might only be 600-700 feet to get, from 7th Street North up to, where's it gonna be? Is it gonna be in the landing at the boat landing?
Yeah, it's gonna be
or-
right in the boat launch, right where the boat launch is.
Yeah, so then you're only probably talking 300-400 feet. So they might be having the
Yep.
ability to get one continuous piece. And then to make sure whoever their subcontractor is, the fusion qualifications and records, that those fusers have been properly trained,
Yep.
and their test results when they put that thing on air to test it. Just a couple of things. I'm sure the engineering firm has maybe thought of all that, but those are some things that are protecting the interest of the village and the city.
I agree.
One continuous pipe would be ideal without a fused joint.
It sure,
and if
that's
they
what
do
I'm
have to-
hoping for.
Yeah, I would think at that distance, I mean, what's the diameter again?
14. No, I'm sorry. The casing on the other one's 14, 12 inch.
Yeah, that's a heck
But
of a
but I
coil.
believe it's but it's a 14-inch pipe that they put under,
Yeah,
because then it's a 12-inch inside diameter.
yeah, that'll be a pretty good sized coil that they would have to try to move around to have a continuous peak, even if it's only 300-400 feet. It'll be
Right.
rather large. The ability to get it under bridges and et cetera, might be impossible to do, but it's
Yeah.
worth the check.
Yeah, I got it. I got notes. Definitely good advice.
Awesome. Anybody else have anything else? All right, moving on. Discussion and possible action on claims, utilities payable.
Move to approve.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks, everybody. Now we move to adjournment.
Move
So
to
moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Joyce first.
I'll second.
Dave got the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
everybody.
Have a good
Aye.
night.
Yeah.